I bet some of you have already seen it. The friend inside you thing. Yep, I'm talking about this creepy thing that somehow made it to the Deltarune fandom, and due to recent announcements it's become relevant once again, but the people who still retains most of their sanity may be very confused of what this thing is. And I'm here to answer most of your questions, so don't you dare to take your meds for this one, and let's get right into the video. So, where did all of this madness came from? It all starts with a remix that Toby Fox posted on Tumblr that was later re-uploaded on YouTube with this horrendous thing for a thumbnail. It was a remix of Toy Stories' You've Got a Friend in Me, where it goes steadily more distorted than Woody would repeat "friend inside me, friend inside me." Someone then made a theory, a joke theory, using a particular line in one of the newsletters. This was while everyone was losing their marbles waiting for chapter 3, so it was expected. This sparked a lot of speculation, and the line in particular went something like this.
Some of you truck freaks may know that we teased a very small cowboy section in chapter 3, but this section is in danger of being cancelled. Oh well, that's just how cowboy shows go, I suppose.
And you all know how the community tends to react when there is no content for a lot of time. So, a cowboy show, right? And there is no need to bring Undertale Jello to the table. Cowboys and the creepy Woody distorted cover friend inside me. And not only that, Toy Story is somehow relevant to this. On Toy Story 2 we learned that Woody's show, that was called Woody's Roundup, was cancelled. And there was a belief at the time that all secret bosses and future secret bosses were going to be discarded or forgotten, just like Jevil was left on a prison and Spandam ended up on a trash can. This was before Green, before Freedom, before we saw the Roaring Knight, and when we all thought that Verde was going to be more relevant to the plot. And you also have to ask that Image Friend appeared for the first time in chapter 2. So, with the cryptic friend and the belief that all secret bosses were going to be discarded or something, some folks somehow got to the conclusion that Woody or a cowboy was going to be chapter 3's secret mini-boss. Remember, Woody's Roundup was a show that was cancelled, and what happened at the end of chapter 2? Susie falls asleep, Chris opens a fountain, and a creepy smile appears on the TV. A smile very similar to that of Image Friend. Of course, that turned out to be Tenna, but the pieces were left there for the community to do whatever the hell they thought this wall meant. People lost their minds. Fanart and fan games sprouted of what, in essence, was just a meme theory. With the release of the newsletter, people knew that Chapter 3 was going to be television related, with, I don't know, a TV host presentator for main boss. And at some point on that level, we'll see something related with cowboys. There is also the fact that the community couldn't decide whether Friend Inside Me would be the main boss or the secret boss. That's why there are so many fun designs and versions of Mike, Tenna, and Friend Inside Me. But who was this friend then? If we go by Deltarune being about the power of imagination and childhood memories, repressed childhood memories, who was Toy Story relevant to this? The bond between a lightener and an object, a toy. In this case, that friend inside me, if we follow the possible logic that people had back then, that friend had to be an object very dear to Chris, like a gift from someone special. Like Azrael maybe, and since those things could only be manifested in the dark world, it had to be a toy. That was the identity of the friend inside me, but inside? What was inside the toy? Well, that could easily be the Shadow Crystal, the thing giving life to the toy, to avoid being forgotten or discarded like the other secret bosses. Adding to that, if we go by rule of 3, this friend inside me would be the third secret boss, and it would be safe to assume that after defeating the third one, Image Friend's appearance would be revealed. Others went even more deeper. If Friend was that important, it had to be someone very special to us, maybe someone we all already knew. Someone like Azrael Dreamer, our best friend? But no, he is a lightener. It should be the Dark World version of Azrael. Maybe Flowey? And for some reason Flowey could also be a cowboy flower? As you see, people were just having fun with all these ideas. Some even connected the TV smiling at the end of chapter 2 to Omega Flowey, and by this time people were really expecting this meme theory to be true. Also, I wanted to mention that there is this animation that was released a few years ago that, by the time, it made me believe that this was actually in the game, before I got back into the fandom, of course. This TV guy and the pedally character seems like they could really belong to Undertale. From an outsider's perspective, I mean. Like, come on, if you told anyone back then that the turtle from Waterfall was going to be a secret boss and the Tennis sprite was going to be a 3D rendered, they would have called you insane. This is still fan-made, of course. The point being, it looked very believable. Some went all in with the distorted friend inside me and made their own fan boss battle with this creepy black and white cowboy secret boss, adding their freedom motive. Eventually, Tenna's appearance got leaked on April last year, on a border for the console version, and the rest is history. Eventually, when chapters 3 and 4 were released, the Woody theory was referenced in Deltarune with the cowboy hat Mike, and guess what? There was in fact a small cowboy section during Tenna's boss fight. Maybe there was going to be a whole western themed part of TV World that got cut. Thankfully so, cause chapter 3 really dragged itself on a few parts. And yeah, I am referring to the Zelda minigame. This thing has to be one of the greatest examples of fandom psychosis, along with Mike and the Papyrus Knight thing, but this friend inside me feels special, you know? And as a side note, I also wanted to mention this Pedally Flower OC character on the same channel. I think this is also because Spamton makes a SpongeBob reference in one of his advertisement texts or something. I don't know, I just think it looks cool. And yeah, that's basically it. Fandom dementia taken very far. The thing is, the theory still lives on, sort of. Remember what I said about the cowboys section being cut? Well, those files are still in the game, including some deleted dialogue from Tenna, where he states that Asgore used to love cowboy shows, a puppet show to be specific, just like Woody's Roundup. Even if it makes like 0 sense by now, it's Deltarune what we're dealing here after all. And just as the crazy juice was running low, and the weight started to grow, and the theories that you know look like fantasy, guess what happened? Pixar, yes, the great D itself, dropped a trailer from yet another cash grab Toy Story movie. But the issue here is not Hollywood's creative bankruptcy, cause the day this trailer was released, guess what happened? Toby Fox quote retweeted it, saying the following.
Super excited this is finally announced. Can't wait for you guys to see what we have in store for you this time.
And that's it, without any other context. Of course, this could be easily another coincidence and that's it. Like, Toby has made voice acting before, so this is completely normal, right? Right? This fandom is a prison. But anyway, that's it for today. I really hope you liked the video, and if that's the case, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That really helps me on the channel. And let me know what you think of the friend inside me, or where do you think this thing is going, but I'm pretty sure this will not be the last time we hear about the Woody friend. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.